Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am the Unknown Furry, and today I'm talking about my experience between the furry fandom and the gaming community. The gaming community is significantly larger than the furry community. The furry community overlaps quite a lot with the gaming community as well, especially from online community spaces. I've been in gaming circles for over a decade and participated in professional play, all the way to MMO static group raiding and guild management, and so on. I'm far less actively engaged in the gaming community these days, especially since I am currently engaging more in furry circles. I find both communities build hype around conventions and events. Each holds annual conventions for different things around the world. I find one difference being gaming community conventions are more aligned to networking and announcements between players and developers. Furry community events and conventions seem to be far more directed towards social interaction, expression, and individual creators. Live social interaction in both communities is common, especially through these events, but the furry community seems to prioritize group socialization more than the gaming community. I also find the furry community is far more invested in building new friendships through the community, while gamers are more invested in strengthening existing friendships. I'm not really a fan of attending conventions, so my experience is secondhand and may not directly connect with how much these conventions actually feel. I'm far more active, socializing online with people from both communities. My experience managing my social circles has been very similar in both communities. I regularly try to connect with people over similar interests, but in gaming communities, this usually only encompasses game genres we both enjoy. Within the furry community, the connected interests can spread more generally, allowing me to connect with people in different ways outside of video games. I find I still try to connect with other furries using games since it is a significant part of my life, but in the furry community so far, I find that gaming is not the only connection I can lean on to kindle a new friendship. In the furry community, I find it easier to build a rapport with someone quickly, especially with the support of using my persona to relieve some of my normal social anxiety. This helps also give the furry community a more personalized experience when chatting with others. I know this sounds contradictory to say, but the community feels more personal when playing as a fluffy character I made up, but the fact that these characters are personally crafted creates a sort of intimate or deeply personal connection to them, and by extension the furry community, with which we use these personal characters to interact. I feel deeply connected to my IGN as well, but not nearly as much as my persona. This is particularly impressive as I have maintained my IGN for decades, while my persona is only a couple months old. When I first got started in the gaming community, this feeling was similar, but throughout my life, gaming has become more and more mainstream. This has its benefits for the gaming community since it reduces stigma towards gamers from the greater population. The furry community seems to be in the early stages of this transition right now, but still on the fringes, much like the gaming community was a couple decades ago. While reaching mainstream attention might have its benefits, being along the societal outskirts also has its benefits, of which the furry community still very much enjoys. My favorite example is the lack of corporatization which happens in mainstream cultures. It's very refreshing to step into a hobby like the furry community and be relieved of the relentless ads and corporate activity which dominates much of the other hobbies in life. People still advertise services, especially for art and other creations, but it's far more personable and honest. I think the furry community will eventually find itself traveling in the same social direction as the gaming community, but for now they differ in this way. Gaming communities still exist that have this aspect, but these communities surround specific games more than the gaming culture as a whole. Furries and gamers share the unique aspect of inclusivity as games give people an outlet to explore new identities and perspectives, just like in the furry community with a persona. However, games will normally thrust the characters we play onto us, which still leaves a small barrier of differentiation between the character and the player. For the most part, the furry community provides complete freedom to a persona's creation, and someone can easily mold a character extremely fitting to themselves. A persona and an IGN are quite similar, but as a persona you more actively roleplay your character, while as an IGN you just use it as a tag to keep yourself more anonymous online. This removes the barrier, but takes away a lot of the intrigue of a well-crafted story and emotional journey a video game can give a character. A persona can still have these things, but they need to be created and shared each time that persona meets someone new, or the emotional depth of the character can be lost. With gaming characters, the community can rally together in support or vitriol for any character in a video game story, without the present need to outline a character background in every interaction. Of course, a furry is more often than not connected to the gaming community in some way. The gaming community is massive and spreads among many interests and hobbies, including the furry community. These two cultures blend together, and furries find corners of the immense gaming world to call home. I won't go naming the endless list of games made for furries in general, but the most notable would be VR chat. VRChat. This is almost more of a software, but it's still a game of socialization online. It lets you create and maintain different fun avatars to roleplay with others in different ways. The furry community understandably built a powerful presence in this unique gaming sphere. Although I don't play in VRChat, I am abundantly aware of its great impact on the furry community even before becoming active in the fandom. I started out this video thinking I would list pros and cons of each community, but honestly, as I wrote and considered them both, they really seem to complement in different ways. The two communities almost feel like siblings, and although the mainstream move happened with gaming, the massive gaming umbrella is still shared and cherished by the furry fandom. It's hard to say which is older. The need to play make-believe is an instinctual evolutionary trait of our species, and we have pretended to be all kinds of things to learn and grow as kids since the dawn of time. In the end, both communities are still welcoming and enjoyable to engage with regularly, and I'm happy to find a home for myself under both umbrellas. Comment below if you're also a gamer, or not, and what your favorite game genre is. If you're also a furry, leave an awoo in the comments below, and I might draw your persona for the ends of my videos when I get back to doing that. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I am the Unknown Furry, and this is